whole lot of work there to be done.
Yes, indeed. And the figures are quite interesting. Some would say even staggering when 84 million Nigerians have picked their PVCs. And of course, according to INEC, another 8 million have not. What exactly is playing out? Well, we'll find out from our guest right here in the studio. We'll find out what he thinks. He's the Director General, Nigeria Intervention Movement, civil activist and politician. Wale Okuni. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
My pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. INEC has been, putting out the numbers out there, and it's looking good. Depends on where you stand. 84 million Nigerians have picked up their PVCs. 8 million haven't picked it up. And if you look at the progression since 1999 till date, it looks like more and more people have been added to the electorate. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, fantastic. I think that there have been awareness about the need to participate, essentially from our own constituency, those that we mobilize as the third force, our intervention to come and determine what happens in 2019. The youth, students, have been mobilized to vote one way, and that's to vote the third force. And that's the agenda which the Nigeria Intervention Movement started, to say, well, this time around, there has to be a paradigm shift. There has to be new people take over the reins of power. So we are going to continue to mobilize the Nigerian youth, the students, so that we can change what is happening here.
All right. When it comes to the issue of the change and the call for change and even the issue of participation, a lot of analysts have made comparison between the First, Second Republic involvement and the Third or maybe the Fourth Republic right now. And if you weigh the quality and the value of leadership, it seems to be coming down comparative to... So at the end of the day, the level of participation and the involvement is not translating into that good governance Nigerians are asking for.
Yes,
so whether the new generation comes in or not, it seems
yeah, we know, we are aware of that. We are quite aware that we have to use our vote. And that's what we call the ballot-based revolution, 2019. Right. PVC revolution. It is going to happen. And that is why we started the Nigeria Intervention Movement, to mobilize Nigerians essentially to confront, bad governance with their vote. And that is what is going to happen. It may not, yes, quality of leadership have dwindled. We know that, but you can't change that except to go to the ballot. So therefore, in changing that, we have mobilized essentially Nigerians to say, look, hey, you have to take your country back. One thing we are doing now is, if you can get a common presidential or common candidate, a single line, which we are working on, which will be released very soon, then you know that we are good to go. Now,
when you talk about the third force, I mean, yes, aren't you too late to the party? Because it looks like all attention seems to be directed at the two major contenders of the present, the incumbent, and of course the opposition PDP that had a chance at it, before. Now, let's, you may want to talk about that. But there's a very, very serious issue now that the INEC chairman has just reached, Mahmoud Yakub, saying that politicians have devised new means of actually circumventing the election. They're buying up PVCs and, paying people to, take their voter identification number and all of that. How troubling is that for you?
We have devised a means to stop that through our election vigilantes.
Okay.
We have devised means, and
all
we are not going to release. Oh, yes. We are going to stop that. The youth will be vigilant. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty.
Of liberty.
And so that is going to start very soon. We'll see the mobilization. The Nigerian youth, the Nigerian people, will have to take their country back from the decadent ruling class, split into two. A lot of money has gone to this. I also blame the mass media for kowtowing to some of the antics of giving publicity. I think the publicity henceforth, and we are setting the agenda now, must be given to the third force, which is emerging.
Yeah, but if you blame
to change,
if you blame the media for giving publicity, the point there is that the media, as the fourth estate of the realm,
yes,
only gives publicity to what is happening. Yes. If nothing is happening, do you give publicity to what is not happening yet?
It's also the duty of the media to do research and investigate more. It's not just in those days we know what happened.
The third force you talk about,
yes.
Is it an ideology or is it an actual political movement or a political party?
It is both an ideology and a political movement as crystallized in the emergence of the NIM and then the new fresh breed political leaders that you have seen. You have seen them. It's unfortunate that we have them split into 2, 3 parties or 4, but we are trying to synergize that, to see how we can have electoral alliance, you know, in which case there can be a coalition party that can determine, you know, the easy success.
Yeah, but
shouldn't that have happened?
But if at the point of the first meeting they had and they couldn't come together, when one of the candidates was adopted.
No, that was part. That was not. That was part. That was essentially aspirant initiative. Okay. Now they are candidates.
All right. Isn't it more difficult now that they are candidates?
No, it is not. Right. It is doable. Right. We are political strategists. It's about talk and say, hey, this is the reality. Can you see the graphics? This is it. If you do this, you split this vote. Can we do A, B, C, D? Are we ready to come to power? These are the issues. We are going to go to that heavily.
All right. But that seems like a futuristic project.
No,
right
not
now.
It's 2019. I'm not talking of futuristic.
All right, that's
I am not discussing 2023 here.
You're discussing
I am not sitting there. I'm discussing 2019.
Right
and
now.
Everybody is ready.
Right
the
now.
mood of the nation is ready.
Ready for what?
It's ready for that change, that real change, for paradigm shift of new, fresh breed coming to change the narrative and the dynamics of politics. We have to change the political culture. And that has not happened. And therefore, it is incumbent on the leaders of conscience in the country to do that right away and make sure that happens. We have not come to joke. We started the Nigerian intervention for this purpose, and it's going to happen.
There are 74 presidential candidates for this election.
Very good.
And over time, in 1999, it was 2 candidates. In 2003, you had 20 parties.
Yes.
2007, 18, 2011, 20, 2015, 14, and 2019, 74.
Yes.
That's a whole lot of
which, of course, unnecessary. We told people, but you see the reality we done on people, on some of the gladiators, and they realized close to election that it's going to be a joke. Why waste our time? We must coalesce. Must synergize, and that is ongoing. That has started. A technical, tactical committee set up at the 1-year anniversary celebration, you know, is working on that, and is going to make sure that we bring people around the table and say, hey, see, do we agree? Let's negotiate it, and if we are able to negotiate it, good to go. But the forces of the youth that we have mobilized to say, hey, go and take your big PVC, they have never voted before, between 18 and 35 years old. They are there. We have them locked up in the vote of that NIM will be producing. And we are sure of that. We're going to sleep over this matter.
All right. Now, it is one thing to say, okay, fine, let us change, let the paradigm shift and all of that. At the end of the day, to what agenda, to what point? What are the real issues that you're bringing on board now that will make Nigerians buy into this paradigm shift, buy into this new ideology and movement you're bringing on board?
Mass impoverishment and pauperization of the Nigerian people. You have commercialization of politics. You have prebendalism. You have politics turned to investment.
Yeah, those are the issues on ground.
And then the political culture is wrong.
Yeah, so
we have to change. And there is no party, no real party. It's just business association.
What will you bring on the table?
And what we are bringing is a new party, a new democratic party, in which the Nigerian people will take ownership.
What are the issues?
And it's not money
what do you want to address?
Highest bidder.
Yeah.
What we are addressing
is the benefit?
is the state of the nation.
All right.
To say, look, we must really bring to bear democracy on our polity, and that we have to deal with constitutional issues here, which is foundational issue. The military foisted on Nigeria a constitution that ordinarily will kill democracy. I'm surprised that it's dead in any case, because there's no democracy. You have some few people who name parties, and then they determine what happened. And you see all the mess around. It's unfortunate that military coup is now unfashionable. You would have seen that happen in Nigeria.
Are you calling for a military coup?
No, we are not. We are not, and that's why we are intervening ourselves. We said to ourselves that we do not want the military to intervene. And so the Nigerian intervention movement must intervene democratically. And then there must be a ballot-based, PVC-driven revolution in 2019.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. DG Nigeria Intervention Movement, NIM. Wale Okuni is a civil activist and politician joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Right.